Welcome back to the Teacherpreneurs. Oh my goodness. People are going to totally turn this off if I keep going. I actually don't know how to play this ukulele. It's just for show. My background is extremely odd. I look like I'm in a bowl of cereal being chewed up by a dude with a mustache. So if you want to see that, head over to YouTube. Jess is a minimalist with her favorite book on her t-shirt. But anyways, what's this episode about? Let me introduce it. We are talking about having no time, but wanting passive income and how to make that happen, and just talking about how we did. How did we do that? And how do we continue to do that? And are we continuing to do that? I don't know. These are all questions that we want to ask today in this episode.
And you know what's kind of weird is my favorite book's The Phantom Tollbooth, and there's this dog named Talk, and he has like a clock in his belly, right? And then I look at my coffee cup today, and it has a clock on it. So it's almost like time was meant for us to talk about today.
Well,
And
and
I
my
think that's good.
Cheerios, no, Fruit Loops are in the shape of clocks.
Yes, I can see that now.
There's a reason.
So, okay, here's a big question. There's a lot of people out there that want to start a TPT store, which I don't know if they're going to want to start anymore after our next episode, but we don't want to give that one away. But okay, you're a teacherpreneur, you teach all day, you work at night, maybe you work on the weekends, but like you also have a life. Like, how do you find the time or energy to actually do things? And I thought we could each tell our stories about like what it was like opening our TPT stores, how much time we put into them, and yeah, just kind of to give people an idea. I mean, there is a huge sacrifice of time in order to be an entrepreneur, is that you have to give up time somewhere. It's either going to be from your personal care and well-being and rest, or it's going to be from your family. I had a really famous entrepreneur once. I'll tell you after this episode, Amanda. I don't want to say it online, but I had someone
Wait,
very,
tell
I'm not gonna tell.
all.
No, I'm not gonna name drop her. But she told me once that she built her business. She started with a website, right? And she said she woke up every day at like 3 a.m. and she worked from 3 to 7. And she's like, you just have to learn to live on 4 hours of sleep for about 5 years. And anyone can make it. And that was the advice. Is I was like, oh, so and so, I just don't know how to make it in this world. Like, I don't know how to go to the next level where I'm becoming an expert and people are turning to me for like PD and coming to my website for things. And I'm selling a lot of TPT products. I don't know how to get to that level. And she told me, well, you're going to have to give up sleep. That's the only option. And I really do not do well giving up sleep. But that was her journey. Everyone's journey is different. That is one option for some teacher entrepreneurs, is they give up sleep for several years and they work in the middle of the night. For me, I have a lot of chronic health issues, and I tried to do it. I did. I took her advice to heart and I tried to give up sleep, and it worked for about 2 weeks. And then I just had a mental and emotional collapse. I could not give up my sleep. But this is what I did do, is there were a couple summers that I just, and weekends and nights that I just busted out. I probably worked for, I'm gonna guess, maybe like 6 months straight, where I was working every weekend, every holiday, every day off on my TPT store. Really, probably for about 3 months. Like, I remember pumping it out one summer where I did not do anything else. I just worked on my store, and I decided I needed a certain number of products, and that was 100. I thought, oh, if I have 100 products, and I didn't know what I was doing with these products. I was just pumping weird stuff out. Some of them are so bizarre and zany. I'm just like, what was I thinking? But that's how you kind of start. And I did give up a summer of my life. And it has given me a great passive income for the last 10 years. I don't regret giving up that summer. But then I look at all my other summers since then where I haven't given up summers to work on my TPT store. And I think to myself, the memories I've had those summers are worth it. Like I've had just incredible trips and memories with my husband and my stepdaughter and my family. I would not give up those summers to have a bigger and better TPT store right now. How about you, Amanda? How did you build your TPT store working as a full-time teacher?
Well, I did it before I had a kid, right? So, like, I think that it's really different for people who have one, two, three, four, five kids plus a full-time job. Um, so yeah, I actually started the year I got pregnant. I was pregnant when I started my TPT store, and I was bored. So I was working for a school that was only 4 days a week. It was a charter school. I mean, it was 5 days a week. The fifth day, I was supposed to be, on call for kids and their parents because the fifth day was the parents got to homeschool their kids. It was a really interesting charter school. This was in San Diego. And then my husband, he was getting his postdoc, so he was just never home. He was always working. And I didn't have any friends because we had just moved there. And so it was just this time in my life when I was really bored and I needed something to keep me busy. And you know, I hyper focused and I got really excited about all my ideas um and then I had a baby and like my life was just chaotic, but I feel like there were periods of time. So the next period of time I started a membership and they were expecting curriculum from me every month. And so that really pushed me to create because I had people counting on me. Remember Teachbox? I used to have this membership with Amanda Cardenas from Mud and Ink Teaching, and we did this thing called Teachbox, and we did that for an entire year. And so every month we had something new for members. And that was a very hard time because I was teaching full time and I had a baby, and it was too much. It was so stressful. I mean, we couldn't keep up with that. And I think that being just naive about like how much work something's going to take, like I've had a lot of friends that have wanted like teacher friends who are like, "Hey, I want you to show me like how to start a teachers be teachers store." But then there's always something that kind of gets in the way of them actually pulling the trigger on it. And I feel like they've been really smart in like kind of like realizing how much time it would take for them to actually do it, whereas my sort of naive fantasies get in the way of the reality of what it takes. And I think that helped, like to produce, but also just my overexcitabilities. I have a lot of them, intellectual overexcitability. Have you ever never heard that? Have you ever heard that term?
I have, yes.
Overexcitabilities. Yeah, it's related to this guy. I think he's German. He wrote a lot and researched the realm of giftedness, and he's pretty popular now. Dabrowski. Anyways, I think that helps too. Just being like super motivated and passionate about whatever you're writing curriculum for, being overexcited about it because it takes over. Um, so
And I've known a lot of entrepreneurs over the years that have done this thing called, and I do know a few successful people that do this, well, maybe you could help me with the name of it. I'm sure you've heard of it before, the Pomodoro method, where people, you work real, real hard whenever you can for like 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour. How long is it? Like 15 minutes?
that is never going to work for me. Never.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, it could work for some people, but like for me, once I start working, I really would like to do that thing all day long. And I think it's because of being, autistic, ADHD. I can say that now. And just the hyper focus, like it's a pleasurable place to be. And so that's when I get a lot of work. And now I know that, like, look, you can get, like, I really want to write a book. And I know that I could do it, but I need to like have that be my main focus for months. And I need to like have like many sessions of like all day working on it, like working on something for 15 minutes, the transition, it's too overwhelming. It's too hard. It's too hard to pull me away from it and then to like go and do something else and then to like actually go back to it. No, there's no way that would work for me.
Yeah, I think people just need to know their work styles. And I'm just thinking about like your neurotypical busy soccer mom, maybe. And these are kind of a lot of the people that are teacher entrepreneurs, right? Like they have very busy, full lives. And I notice I've been watching them for a while because I do have a group of teachers pay teachers friends that are very active. And I do notice that like they're just squeezing it in whenever they can, right? They're they're at a soccer game watching their kids play, but they're also making a TPT product, right? They're getting, they're sitting between parent-teacher conferences. They have their laptop out and they're waiting for new parents and they're working on TPT products. They are able to turn their brain on and off and do these things. So we're just throwing out ideas. Like you kind of got to know what kind of worker you are, like where you're at, like what really works for you. Like for me, it really was like I just gave up an entire summer of my life to make these products where I kind of probably did a little bit of what Amanda does. Like, I just I was one track mind. I was going to become a TPT millionaire and this was it. And I was every single day. I mean, for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, I was working on TPT for a whole summer until I couldn't anymore. And then I sort of got angry at my job because I was like, this is BS. I don't want to do this job. I want to just work on my TPT store all day. And then it was like trying to find the balance again was a little hard to go back to. But the people I've watched that have really successful TPT stores, a lot of them just they make it a part of their daily life. They do integrate it into their daily life. They do it, either they have a chunk of time before school starts or after school starts, like in the early mornings or the evening, and they just plug away at it and they turn off all distractions and nobody can get a hold of them, including their families, right? Like they are gone to the world. Or they're constantly trying to build it into everything. Like they're at the airport waiting for a plane and they're doing TPT. They're on the plane and they're doing TPT. I have seen this. I have seen people doing this, so I do know it's possible. But either way, it's like if you want it bad enough, I guess you'll find a way to make it work, right?
Yeah, I think that if you are really motivated, it will work. But I think that is the key ingredient, like knowing that this is something you care about and that you want to dedicate time to and just prioritizing it. But I think that another method that we've been exploring is body doubling, where you have a friend that's also working on products and yeah, or whatever business things you've got going and you're both working at the same time. And so you're being held accountable, And so that I think that's helpful too, but you have to kind of have friends to do that with. And we've done that and we're planning on doing that again, right? And so if you want to join our accountability group, there's a link in the show notes to join that if that's something that you're interested in doing. Should I say the date?
Maybe we shouldn't date ourselves in case someone watches this and it's not the right time, but just know you can go to our episodes and if we do have an accountability time open, look in the show notes and you could join us. That's sort of the point of this is like when we do have accountability groups open where me and Amanda are like, oh yeah, we could get together and work for a few hours on this day on something, we'll open up our group. So if you want to join us and try to be ultra productive too, you could also do that.
Yeah, it'd be really fun to see you and to get to know people who listen to this podcast. Before we end, doesn't it look like I have ponytails?
Yeah, the guy's mustache. This is the creepiest. This is I didn't think this show could get any creepier than today. And Amanda pulls out this guy who's like drowning in a bowl of Fruit Loops. It's gross. It's almost like out of a horror movie. And she's just loving it.
I'm unmasking. I'm being
It's
my weird,
so crazy
wacky
looking.
self.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
you should check out our YouTube channel, which Amanda actually made a really funny YouTube clip this week. Did you put that on the YouTube
yeah,
channel?
I did.
It's almost like she's making little funny music videos out of our clips.
Yep.
And it's hilarious. Some of the ones I watched this one that she made like 5 times.
I did too. It's so good. I love
It's so
it.
funny.
It's like our YouTube intro. Well, it's the intro to our podcast, but it's a video to go along with it. So go ahead and go to our YouTube channel. There's a link in the show notes to that too.
We'd love that.
Yay.
Namaste.
Namaste.